absolutely right. Let's see here. We got cognitive discussions with the $5 super chat. Says, I'd appreciate this shout out, brother. Thank you. Well, cognitive discussion. Shout out to you. And positivity is definitely.
I'm not ready to jump into that beast just yet.
Let's get the likes up. Let's get the share the video. Guys, if you can, go back to the previous video and leave a comment, and let's rock it out for tonight. Shizky's in the building. Positivity to you. So glad that you're in the building. What's up? Let me see. Oh, USA says #1 bass podcast. Thank you so much, USA. So glad that you're in the building as well. Positivity is definitely coming to you. Let's see here. Don't tell me, tell the people where you been at. Guys, please go over to Don't Tell Me, Tell the People and subscribe. She has an excellent channel. She has an excellent YouTube channel. Thank you so much.
I am not ready. I'm not ready just yet. I gotta go and get laundry.
We got Isaiah in the building. What's up?
I gotta do some warm-up races before I even think about jumping in this crazy-ass thing.
What's up, Puff? Positivity to you as well. Guys, I'm so happy. So happy to be here on a Thursday talking to you and hanging out. We have Bridget in the building. It says, not taking political sides, not uncommon for people with psychiatric issues to focus on politicians and religious figures. Ooh, I might have to, I think I'm going to start that one as well. Let me start that one. All right, I'm going to save that one as well. Let's see here.
All good, I gotta make something haha, just wanted to drop it like emoji thumbs up really quick lol.
I'm not going on the people tonight. Well, not absolutely not. But no, I'm not.
Nice. It's like they took a washing machine and just, you know, wrapped it around the car.
But guys, nevertheless, let me get into these topics. So let's turn the business. Again, guys, please share the video if you have not. Guys, check this out.
You know it. Emoji thumbs up. I'll be back in a bit. Emoji thumbs up. Emoji thumbs up.
Yep.
Murder. Supreme Court Justice said he needed psychiatric help. 911 dispatch audio. Yeah.
Right, it looks like a soapfish haha KBY. Be right back.
Ev says, hey, chaotic truth, listening in the chat. I hope everyone is having a productive week. My psychiatric help for this kid would have been a staunch, and I mean a staunch.
I gotta get laundry.
Ass with
I'll be back.
Period. Ow. Enough's enough. Enough's enough with all this psychiatric, mental this, mental that. This kid had the wherewithal, the intelligence to get on a plane and fly his ass all the way to Maryland. He had the wherewithal and the intelligence. He had the mental fortitude to go all the way to Maryland and attempt to harm a sitting U.S. Supreme Court judge? What time period is this? Where am I at? Hold on for a second. Indoctrination, salute to you, says, I didn't know about the SCOTUS. See? And that's the problem. Again, if this was a liberal judge, CNN, all these other major news stations, they would loop it 24 hours. Hell, it wouldn't even have to be a U.S. Supreme Court judge. It could be somebody as AOC, or it could even be some liberal mayor of some small town. They would loop it over and over and over and over if somebody from the conservative side or some MAGA attempted to do something like this. And that's funny that indoctrination, you didn't hear about it. It's actually tragic. More folks knew about LeBron's infamous N-word on his gate than the assassination attempt. Low intellectual capacity. Yeah, indoctrination. This is where we have gone as a society, where a liberal like LeBron, a man who dribbles a ball down a court and dunks it into a basket, because he's a liberal, because a lot of the media now is controlled by liberals and woke people, we have all this woke nonsense, you would hear more about that than a person of a senior statesman, a senior elder, a person who literally is transforming the paradigm of society, a person who's sitting on the bench of the United States Supreme Court. This is the tragedy here. But again, it's because he's not a liberal judge. You're absolutely right. Who else is in the chat real quick? Guys, please hit the like button and please share the video. We have Marcy with the $2 super chat. Guys, you guys are about to have me amped up on coffee and tea and water for the next week, man. Marcy says, first time seeing your show, got a notification from Modern Renaissance Man. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And positivity to you. I'm so glad you came through, and I'm so glad about the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Let me see here. Who else is in the building? Real quick, and then we get right back into the article. Yeah, guys. So the article goes on to say, police officers stand outside the home of U.S. Supreme Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh in anticipation of an abortion rights demonstration on May 18, 2022. Do you guys remember that? Do you remember when liberal politicians, they didn't bat an eye? Liberal politicians didn't bat an eye that protesters in the thousands were protesting the homes of individuals who were sitting on the Supreme Court. Do you guys remember that? Did you notice how the media put that, swept that under the rug? Oh, let's get that under the rug. We don't want them to remember that. But it happened. But the liberals, they will go on and on and on and on about January 6th, about people just pretty much trespassing, to say the least. But these people, like this libtard, literally are trying to harm a sitting judge. I'm gonna keep on reading though, by the way. Give me 1 second. Modern Renaissance Man is in the building. He says, what's going on, chat? Hey, Chaotic Truth Live. Been here since you started, tying up some loose ends, but I'm here, bro. Give me a little bit more time. It's about to gizzo down. Let's go. That's Modern Renaissance Man. Salute to you. Let me see who else is in the building real quick. Oh, we got Marcy with the $50 super chat. She said, hop up, man. I'm the enabler. Marcy, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm about to stock up on some Kizov feed. Thank you so much. And I'm about to get a whole bunch of cases of Red Bull, Marcy. Thank you so much. Guys, if I have a whole bunch of Red Bull and I'm amped up, it's because of Marcy. Thank you so much, Marcy, for the $50 super chat. I rock with you. And thank you for subscribing to the channel. And thank you so much for supporting. Let me see. Richard says, Marcy with the $50 bomb. Let's go. Let's go. But guys, please bombard the channel or the chat with messages, comments, questions. But let's go, guys. Let me see. So yeah, the article goes on to say that the California man arrested near the U.S. Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh's home and charged with attempted, I read that wrong, I'm reading too fast, attempting or threatening to kidnap or murder a U.S. judge said in calls he made to 911 before the arrest that he was thinking of killing himself and needed psychiatric help, according to the audio recordings released by the Montgomery County Police Department. Guys, this is absolutely insane. Oh, and of course the liberals. Oh, yeah, mental health. Let's go on. The liberals love using the mental health shtick. They love it. They love talking about mental health, not downplaying mental health. Again, I've worked in the mental health field before. But the crutch with the liberals is always going to be this mental health nonsense. It's not the fact, again, that liberal politicians doxed our Supreme Court justices. It's not that. It's not that a lot of these liberal artards, excuse me guys if I'm being disrespectful like the R word, but it's not that these liberal artard politicians green-lit any type of protest, whether physical or not, against our justices. It's not that. But let's take it back to mental health, and that's what they're gonna do with this. They're gonna say, oh yeah, he called and blah 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 too mentally ill to hop on that damn plane. He wasn't too mentally ill to order some peanuts and a beer on that plane. He wasn't too mentally ill to order a damn taxi and go outside Judge Kavanaugh's home at 1:15 in the morning. If I would have been the U.S. Marshal, I'd have kicked his ass up and down the damn street. I'm mentally ill. Get the fuck. Sorry, guys. I wasn't supposed to cut. Guys, give me a second. I had to spill. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. See, I'm over here hyped up and I'm dropping stuff. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay. Let's go on this. What's up, guys? Hey, guys. I'm having fun over here, man. I love Thursdays, man. Give me a 1 in the chat if you love Thursdays. You know, to me, Thursdays are like, you know, like, all right, for example, guys, Fridays to me seem like the end of the weekend almost, because you party on, think about it, you party on Friday, then, you feel like shit on Saturday. But when you party on Thursday, and then you wake up and like, oh, wow, I have Friday to hang out and kick it too. But you know, like, you know, a lot of you probably drink. And you know, it's Saturday, you're like, oh, I should not drink on Friday. And then you already know you're not doing anything on Sunday. But not to say that all of you guys are drinking. But guys, salute to you guys. Let me see. Who else is in the building? Oh, Bridget says, I respect
I'm here. All good. I gotta make something cause I just wanted to drop it like emoji thumbs up. Really quick LOL. You know it. Emoji thumbs up. I'll be back in a bit. Emoji thumbs up. Right, it looks like a soapfish. Haha. Be right back.
Let's be completely honest. This boy was 23, 24. He did not like the fact that the abortion document was leaked. Let's be completely honest. And he probably became radicalized online. The kid probably doesn't even have any kids of his own. And he's probably watching anti-abortion videos. And he's probably, check me out, this may be a little stretch here, but he's probably indoctrinating himself just like that white boy in New York. White boy didn't grow up around any blacks. He's a loser in school. He can't really, you know, he's a loser in school. And then, I think about 10 liberals just dropped off because the numbers just dropped like that. I think some liberals like, fuck this guy. I thought that he doesn't think that he's a slave. He doesn't think that he's oppressed. He likes Judge Kavanaugh. Fuck him. I think some people just dropped off. I saw the numbers drop actually. But nevertheless, but yeah, it's just like that white boy in New York. If he was purple, I would say purple. I don't want you guys to think that I'm racist, because I'm not. Sometimes I don't like anybody. Sometimes I like everybody. But just like that white boy, he radicalized himself by watching videos. He's in his room. He's a loser. He doesn't have any friends. And for some reason, black people became his enemy. People he's probably never seen in his damn life. Then he takes his ass 3 hours. He drives his ass 3 hours up north to Buffalo. And he does a horrific act. Same thing here. Same thing here. Same thing with this little kid right here. Well, he's not a little kid. He's 24. He's a grown-ass man. But the same thing with him. He's probably a loser. Like most of these people. He's radicalizing himself, watching videos. He's not really into politics. He's like, I'm going to get Judge Kavanaugh. I'm going to make it a mission to get him. I'm going to make it a suicide mission. And this is what's going on now. You know, these younger kids especially didn't grow up like we did when we were kids, going outside, meeting new friends. You know, when I was a kid, we used to go outside, we'd go around the block, and we'd meet some new kids. Like, hey guys, you want to hang out? Like, yeah, sure, why not? And those people would be your friends for 10, 20 years. But these losers now, a lot of them are just stuck in the house, and they're radicalizing themselves. And this is what you get. You get kids literally doing it's more of a frequency now of all these kids. This kid is literally going out and trying to assassinate a sitting judge. And again, there's no backflap about it on the news because Judge Kavanaugh is a liberal. And that's what it is. Give me a second, guys. Give me 1 second, guys. Thank you so much for coming to the chat. I love you guys. Obi says Chaotic Truth needs a swear jar. What's going on, brother?
Yo, how we
guys?
Doing?
Guys, this is the Modern Renaissance Band. Guys, please go to his channel and subscribe. Please share his channel with everybody in your contact list. What say you, sir? How you doing?
Doing good, always good, man. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. I live in America. Free market capitalism.
No way. No, you're black. No,
absolutely.
No way. You can't
anything you want to be in this country.
No.
And yeah, absolutely.
Not while black. No, sir. I think you're blind. There's
exactly.
white supremacy and racism.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Well, whoever was a white supremacist that was supposed to stop me from doing things, he must have been sick for 37 years.
Yeah, for 40 for me. So I'm still trying to find him. I don't know where he's at.
Yeah, absolutely. But so, if you would
thank you for bearing with me while I do laundry. I need a couple more minutes. I gotta go upstairs and take my wife's laundry upstairs, my own too. What you are watching are the videoscapes, which is here. They're escapes movies, they're called. Okay.
And things have just taken off. I've appeared on various news channels, the Candace Owens show, and I got things lined up all summer long. I've been asked to come out of the country and everything to go around and speak this message of pretty much
back in a minute.
Truth and righteousness is all it comes down to. And of course, with that comes all kind of chaos and all that. But me, a lot of my upbringing, I came up in Chicago, son. I came up in another area called Decatur, Illinois, son. So I seen a lot of stuff coming up: crime, murders, rapes, all this stuff in front of my face. So to get where I am right now, any type of heat anybody want to throw at me, dude, I'm not the one. I'm not one of those soft people that they can just yell at and say stuff to. I'm just gonna sit back and no, I'm gonna bring it right back at you. So, and I think that's what got a lot of people terrified right now, folks. Individuals like you and myself, terrified of folks like that.
Yeah, the liberals are terrified of especially black men who don't blame white on every damn thing, and they hate the fact that we take accountability for our own lives and action. Real quick, sir, I was accosted by a liberal old white woman years ago. She was trying to convince me why I should not vote for Donald Trump during his second run for president. And she got all in my face. She had pamphlets in my face, Biden pamphlets. She was telling me that I was oppressed. Mind you, we're in the suburbs outside of my house, and it's nice, and it's damn near parrots in the damn neighborhood. It's not parrots for the people out there, but it's damn near parrots flying around. It's a paradise, and she's telling me that I'm oppressed. Yeah. Let me convince you with that, but go ahead.
It's unbelievable because, I've been doing it for so long now that I tell them, show me how I am.
Yeah.
Show me how I am. So I'm oppressed. Can you show me something that white people are doing that black people are not? President, boom, we did that. CEOs, boom, we did that. Millionaires, boom, we did that. Billionaires, boom, we did that.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing that we're not doing to make us oppressed?
Yeah.
And then they'll try to hit you with the, well, black people, you have to work like 5 times harder. What statistics or what data do you have on it to show that you're working 5 times harder? I came up in for instance, one of my backgrounds is physical therapy, right? Medical program. So I was the only black person that came up in that program at that time, right?
Yeah.
So what they would tell me, what they would try to say is, see, look at that, look. See, you're the only black person in there, man. Why is that? Why is that, bro? Okay, you know what? I went literally to the professor, not out of like spite or anything, like, why aren't there no black people in here? I just actually just wanted to know, for my own self. So I go to my professor and, hey, I noticed I'm the only one in here that's a black person that's in this program. I just want to know what's the reasoning. And she goes, Ty, you're the only one that applied.
Yeah, and that's
anybody else would tell you, oh man, see, it's systemic racism. How come all white people in there, but you black and you in there? See, because she said you were the only person on the application that was black.
When I was in college, I went to a very liberal arts college. Black kids, we would party. I was part of a black organization. We would party, we put icebreakers, and a lot of us, we didn't major in mathematics. We didn't major in the hard sciences. And you will find a lot of especially black kids who are older now, who will complain with their underwater basket weaving degrees. And I always say this online. Where were you at in college? Did you ever walk past the mathematics building and say, you know what, let me go into this college of math and apply to to be in this college instead of the African American studies, history, psychology. Who was stopping you from going into the math field? But nevertheless, you definitely understand it, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and you know, it's really sad, man, because you know, I tell this thing. I just past October, I got invited to go and do a TED talk, right? And so,
okay, where at?
Golly, you just had to be in Louisiana, Moline.
Yeah.
No, West Monroe. I'm sorry, I'm about to say East Moline. That's in Illinois. West Monroe, Louisiana. So one of the things that I hit on there is something that actually was pretty much life changing for me. And some of my subs in here, they probably heard this story a million times because I tell it everywhere I go. So like coming up in the hood, in the hood, I had some older cousins and uncles that would tell us about these. You know, everybody has like a scary, story of stuff that's going on. You know, ghosts, goblins, things like that. Yeah, so they would talk about these little creatures and stuff that come out at nighttime that they stay in the basement. So the way my house was set up though is that in order for me to get to the kitchen, I had to walk past this basement door. Right? Yeah. Man, I would get to that basement door, heart beating, just scared to death. Like, oh man, I'm so thirsty. I want to go get something to drink, man. But them hiccup machines in the basement, I would turn back around, bolt upstairs like them things would chase me. I did that for months, man. Finally, one time, dude, I got down there. Same thing happened. Heart beating fast, scared to death. You see the refrigerator, but I had to walk past this basement door. Dude, I said, forget it. I gotta find the truth out one way or another. If I die, I'm just gonna die. At least I know that them things do exist. Man, I went down there. I went towards the basement door now. I opened the door. I went down the stairs. I didn't even flick the light on. I went downstairs. I stood on that cold basement floor. I closed my eyes. I'm sitting there sweating, heart beating fast, breathing now. I believe what they told me. My body responded as if this thing was getting ready to happen to me, right? Yeah. So, next thing you know, my eyes started to adjust to the darkness. My heart rate slowed down. My breathing slowed down. I looked around. Man, there was nothing that was there. From that point on, anything somebody told me about anything, any white man, any stuff, I'm like, I don't care what anybody say. I'm going to go out there and see if this is true. Exactly. That's exactly what they do. That's exactly what they do to the black community right now. They anticipate us responding according to the stories that they tell us. Yeah, I'm going to do this because I'm a white man, and a white man ain't going to hold that contract. No, man, I'm telling you right now, I know this for a fact. I had a boy that tried to do that, and he didn't even, they tell us these stories, and they will believe that. People get scared like I did with that basement door. They get scared to get to their goal because they believe so much in this dark rhetoric, this narrative, this ideology, and a lot of them tell us about blacks. It's the same exact thing right now. Yes. It's so simple, but it's the same thing.
Sir, you're absolutely correct, man. I have thousands of stories like that, and I tell people all the time, man, when you get over the hump of mental slavery, whether you're black, white, whatever, you can achieve so much, man. And a lot of the stories and it's funny you say that stories because I'm pretty sure all kids experience that, the boogeyman thing, right? But, I tell people all the time, man, when you tell yourself that you're oppressed and you are a slave, you are putting so many mental shackles on your brain. And I have people, man, I go to different panels, I have people come over here, and they talk about the scare.
I've been trying to listen for the turbo, like you were talking about yesterday, period, but I can't hear it, period. I hear so much other engine noise and the wind, and the tranny is turned all the way down as it is, period, but I can't hear the turbo, period.
It's evil white men. All the while they're driving a Mercedes, living in the suburbs in a 4-bedroom house, and working at a Fortune 500 company. Whether it's on the front line as a cashier at Walmart, or they could be a mid-level manager in corporate. Somehow they are suffering from oppression for some reason. And I always, mid-level manager.
I just washed about 17 pairs of summer socks because last week when I washed them, there was an old dryer sheet in the dryer, period. My socks have felt terrible all week, period. I usually wash them with no fabric softener, period. Don't warn me about my own friggin' comment, you dumb motherfucker. Seriously? Oh, the comment's a little long. You idiots, it's my stream. Good grief. Just let me stream my stuff and leave me alone, YouTube. If I have any questions, I'll ask you. I thought about putting a warning for yesterday's live stream.
You're giving the F1500 a go, Dave.
The crap. No, I have not driven it yet. I need to warm up for a race or two before I think about messing with that psychotic car. It takes me a good half an hour. You know, I'm just, I hate getting old. I really do. I hate getting old. It sucks, man. The headphone situation, we were talking about that yesterday. I just started looking around for Sennheiser gaming headphones, and I don't know what I'm looking at. I was not able to screenshot the model numbers from last night. The one thing with my Audio Technicas...
Don't blame me, just hold on tight, emoji floor laughing.
My Audio Technicas, when I wear those, I can't hear myself talk. You know, the microphone is through the PlayStation camera, which is up there. But for whatever reason, it's not giving me my audio where I can hear myself talk. And I can't deal with that. So I gotta figure something else out. I've seen some videos or some solution being a Y splitter, where you can connect the crappy mic that came with the PS4 that won't work if you have the camera turned on. You can connect that and headphones to the headphone output on the DS4, which is a DualShock 4 or controller. The DualShock, the original DualShock. Remember that? PlayStation 2. And then we had the DualShock 3 for PS3, the DS3, which actually started with 6-axis, and then they added the DualShock. Now DualShock 4, and now the PlayStation 5 controller has a funky ass name to it, which I'm not even gonna try, but it's got all kinds of haptics and shit. But you can still tell when people are using it because they're kind of twitchy. Speaking of Twitch, what's with the whole chasing the purple dragon thing? I don't get it. I guess there's some kind of controversy around Twitch or something. I don't know what it is.
What's up, everybody? Good afternoon, guys.
Let's make some money.
Yeah, it's just been one of those days. Get in, got a bunch of work to do. Cameras getting put around. Apparently,
I got a long way to go.
That's about. I just have to deal with that weird corner over there. Oh man, it feels like it's Friday. It's only Thursday, and I was just having a conversation with a coworker about that earlier too. Like they thought it was Friday. just like we're trying to plan a lunch.
Let's go try this.
Everybody's kind of like, you know, just a little discombobulated this week, so gonna be real chill. Just gonna hang out for a little bit. I got a couple of stories for you.
If you guys are hearing an echo, let me know. Try to determine which echo is from...
What did you mean by listen for the turbo?
Huh? Ah, crap.
Watch a really cool video that was posted in the 3D printing section of my Discord server for those of you who are members of Discord. And we'll also go
your shifting point is where when the turbo stops spinning, it stops giving you boost, I guess. And you can hear it from what I saw yesterday. I can't remember who was driving.
I think there's a few that really
I thought it was Prime.
I firmly believe that, if, of course, they're done the right way. That's always the...
All right, we're going to go take this thing around
a lot of stuff that
the other ring.
Modernized, but it has to be done the right way. Maverick has clearly been done the right way. Everybody says that. It's still on my list. Haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but everybody is pretty unanimous about it, universal about it. Maverick was done the right way. So let's just assume that those movies would be done the right way. Which movies would you like to see get redone? I'm not going to limit it to the 1980s. I'm just going to go over that article. I thought it was interesting. Bidenflation has a lot of brands that are cutting portions, but the prices are the same. So Kleenex will affect my mom tremendously. This is half of her economy. 65 tissues are now 60.
Well, the problem with that, I can't see the numbers.
So get used to that. We'll probably have
with my vision, I can't see the numbers. I have to get a new prescription that will magnify the text on my TV a little bit.
And they never get back to their
that surgery is not scheduled until July.
It's always just how it works. There's an article about it. I don't really need to go into it. It's just I wanted to show you kind of like that highlight there.
I had cataract surgery the beginning of March.
The same price. That's pretty Associated
It's
Press.
been an incredible journey.
What else do we have here? Oh, Ukrainian officials admitted she lied about Russians committing mass rape. Yeah. There never was any evidence of this. And as I've tried to tell everybody, you know, you're dealing with a propaganda. You're a lot of stuff that creates this. It's not true. Some Russians say not true. So you got to use everything with grace. She's been fired. She's spread misinformation. She admitted that she lied about Russians committing mass rape in order to convince Western countries to send weapons to Ukraine. And it worked. So, again, she's a parliamentary commissioner, human rights. She was removed from her position while they gave her no confidence in Ukraine's parliament. So she passed 239 people died from the keep her post. Because, you know, they can't justify the means, I guess. So,
it definitely needs a racing tranny.
Specifically accused her of pushing misinformation that only harmed Ukraine in relation to the numerous details of unnatural sexual offenses and child sexual abuse in the occupied territories.
That's not fun. I don't want to deal with that right now.
Supported by the evidence. That's not all of them, but a lot of them.
That's not fun.
That's been the truth from the very beginning of the conflict.
The fans are supposed to suck it down.
She admitted that her falsehoods had achieved their intended goal. When, for example, I spoke to the Italian Parliament at the Committee on International Affairs, I heard and saw such fatigue from Ukraine, you know. I talked about terrible things in order to somehow push them to make the decisions that Ukraine and Ukrainian people need. She noted that Italy's five-star movement was originally against the provision of weapons to us, but after her speech, one of the party leaders said that they will support us, including the provisions of weapons. So it has worked. Now, again, of course, everybody else repeating those claims too, because anything Ukraine says about Russia gets repeated automatically. Not getting a lot of Ukraine coverage right now because things not going well for Ukraine. Western media doesn't cover it so much, but I just wanted to be aware of it. But again, not everything Ukraine says is true. Russia certainly does some stuff that is unsavory, no doubt about that.
both sides have committed war crimes. You know, there's no sense in having a debate on it. Both sides have committed war crimes. It's a fact. It's not up for dispute. Some people will try and say, well, Russia's war crimes are worse than Ukraine's. It's not really relevant. Both sides committed war crimes. It's a conflict. It's happening. You know, Ukraine is fighting for their survival. I get that.
I gotta take my rim off and tighten the screws back down again.
Fill the tank, then match one and shift between 50 to 70 of bar till the end.
Anything that portrays, I think it's War and Peace. Was it War and Peace? Anything that portrays Russian military in positive lights, like get banned in the country. So it's, you know, which I understand. I get their perspective there, but just, you know, it's important that everybody else who's paying attention to the conflict just kind of take everything with a grain of salt until you get evidence and that sort of stuff. The Pentagon first offered the National Guard to the Capitol 4 days before the riots on January 6th, according to a memo. And this is one of those things we kind of told everybody, hey, be careful what you wish for. You want to go ahead and broadcast these January 6th committee hearings, prime time, and stuff like that. You're going to get a lot of information that comes out of these hearings that is not going to support the January 6th narrative. The Pentagon first raised the possibility of sending National Guard troops to the Capitol 4 days before the riots on January 6th, setting in motion a series of rejections by Capitol Police and Democrats that left Congress vulnerable as threats of violence are rising, according to government memos that validate Trump administration officials' long-held claims, which, if you've been paying attention to this, you are well aware of this. Now, my audience should know about it. Everybody out there who's watching right now who is familiar with me should know that we have talked about this for a long time. We're not alone. This has been well known. So we already knew that he offered the National Guard. We knew that Pelosi said no. And here's the reality, guys. And I know that there's a lot of people out there who don't want to admit this, but the reality is that you can't use FBI assets to kick off a riot if you have the National Guard there. So you don't let the National Guard come in, so you can let people like Ray Epps and everybody else kick off the riot. And it's, you know, Ray Epps, the Ray Epps situation has to be resolved. I mean, it just has to. I'm waiting for the day that the bombshells on that drop. So Ray Epps is, you know, he's
don't judge me
before calling people to go into the Capitol. He's getting called out as a vet.
I tried it yesterday. I went to normal, and I was losing like in third,
and then the next day, Ray Epps,
and then I hit it on hard, and I placed like 18th. So
in that section of the Capitol,
don't judge me.
Filming it happens to be an Antifa BLM.
I'd much rather have fun.
And it just happened to be in the perfect position for it.
And on top of that, the AI is running 26 minutes.
The crowd to go on too. So Ray Epps comes up, whispers in somebody's ear. They start the riot. The BLM activist is recording this. Happens to be just like 10 feet behind him, perfectly framed, right? And is calling for everybody to go ahead and go in and riot and break into the Capitol and everything else. It's just, I mean, you know, you couldn't. If this were written in Hollywood, nobody would believe that somebody can get away with it. But yeah, here we are watching people actually get away with it. It's crazy. But the National Guard is there, as the Trump administration, the Pentagon had offered. If the National Guard is there, you can't have your little FBI assets running around starting these little fires and not a literal fire, a figurative fire, getting people amped up to go into the Capitol. So you don't have the National Guard there, so you can have your operatives kick off the riot. That's how it went down. Sorry, that's what the evidence shows. That's what all the camera footage shows. An official timeline of the January 6th tragedy assembled by the Capitol Police shows that a Defense Department official reached out to a Capitol Police Deputy Chief.
All right, so I took a screenshot.
2nd of 2021 to see if a request for troops was forthcoming. But the offer was quickly rejected after consultation with then Chief Steve Sun, who's resigned. Carol Corbin, DOD text to the USCP Deputy Chief Sean Gallagher, Protective Service Bureau, to determine whether the USCP is considering a request for National Guard soldiers on January 6th. Timeline reads the lone entry listed for Saturday on January 2nd. The following morning, the timeline states Gallagher replies to DOD via text with a request for National Guard report. Not forthcoming at this time after consultation with COP Sun. And again, they have the whole transcript right here, which you can read, and I'll go over more on the show. But like I said, you know, it's just, can't have the National Guard there if you're planning on kicking off a riot, right? So that's why that happened. All right, this was a video that was, I keep telling you, buy a 3D printer. This is a video that was posted on my Discord server, the 3D printing channel. And I just wanted to highlight it for everybody. And, and just kick back, kind of watch it. It's pretty cool, it's pretty neat. World's first 3D printed rocket launcher, and it kind of looks like an AT4, right? It's got the AT4 sort of schematics, a little bit different, but similar to an AT4. And if you don't know what an AT4 is, it's an anti-tank rocket. It's a fire, and you fire it once.
Find the front with your great prize.
Those are the tubes that you see when there's a gun buyback. Somebody turned in a rocket launcher, not a suspend tube. It's totally inert and can't do anything to hurt you. They sell them as, you know, mementos and souvenirs and things like that. You can buy them all the time. They can't be repurposed or anything.
I'm adjusting volume.
This is interesting. I just wanted to showcase it. Now, they don't have, you know, high explosive warheads. Something's going to go like take out a tank or anything like that. But, you know, with somebody who knows what they're doing, they could get to that point at some point in time. But I wanted you guys to take a look at it. Just going to refresh this just in case it does not play right where I wanted to.
This time, John, the owners of the city do a better job of all the mighty army training bestowed upon the army officer.
You can do this stuff with PVC pipe too.
Skill for better than his land navigation.
Nice.
So, instead of third time's a charm, second time's a charm in this case. The rocket flew with a solid trajectory and hit the target, resulting in a very nice blast.
Change your voice
Nice.
Rewinding the video, you can just see the rocket here in mid-flight. A fraction of a second later, the rocket engine comes to life and propels the rocket onto the target. A flash powder charge produces a very bright and loud roar, which is always a crowd pleaser. The blast blew out one of the panels of the doors. Not too shabby for a prototype device. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I wanted to go back to the beginning of that, but yeah, man, this is pretty cool stuff. And you know, as we've highlighted many times before, like you're allowed to do this. You know, you've always had the right to make these things at home. You know, there are certain restrictions on the type of ordnance that you can use and things of that nature. But Joe Biden can go around and lie all he wants about founding fathers and the Second Amendment, as the anti-gun crowd always does. But you've always had a right to make this stuff. So this is, I don't know who this guy is, what his beliefs are. He posted about it, returns to Spence. Controversial 3D printed weapons syndicate. It's not controversial. It's only controversial because some people don't want you to be able to do this at home. You've always had the right to do it at home. Always. That has always been a fundamental right in the United States. That goes back to declaring independence, okay? You've always had a right to make your own arms. And into, actually, beyond that,
Come on now.
you had a right to make arms under the British rule, too, which they decided that they were going to take that right away from people. So you always had the right to go ahead and make your own guns at home. The issue is that now the tools are becoming cheaper, and the tools are getting more advanced, and they're easier for people to operate. So your average person now can gain access to tools to actually make weapons at home, and it won't take them very long to figure out how to properly do it. And as we've highlighted before, no, you can't just 3D print a gun and make it work. That's not how that process works out. And there's more to it here. You can see some of the PVC pipe stuff, but people have been making PVC rockets ever. You know, we can get into zip guns and everything else if we really wanted to. It's not all relevant. I just thought it was cool. I just wanted to show it to everybody. It was interesting. I appreciate the guy who shared it on the Discord server. So thank you for that. But again, buy a 3D printer. If nothing else, maybe you'll have a 3D printer make cool gadgets for your kids, stuff, do repairs around the house. 3D printers just cool to have around. In the darkest of times, you'll have a 3D printer to make stuff you may need. Okay. Just in case. So it's always nice to have a 3D printer around. Alright, so I ran into this article. I thought it was interesting. And put in the comment
Buying a 3D printer.
movies you would like to see get a remake, and we'll put those comments here just a little bit. 6 80s classics that deserve the Top Gun treatment. They deserve a remake. Alright, interesting. Christian Toto wrote it for the Daily Wire.
Put your great prize to the
Loves
front
copy
all
success
around.
stories until the ink runs dry on the studio printer. After Halloween made horror history in 1978, Friday the 13th emerged with dozens of inferior slasher has a different meaning now with twerking and stuff like that, doesn't it? Top Gun has a special place in the hearts of many moviegoers and star Tom Cruise refuses to age as he stares down his upcoming 60th birthday on July 6th. It's something about those Thaytons or something, right? So they list some movies that they think should probably be remade. I've actually thought about this. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Is there Ferris Bueller's Day Off a remake? Now, obviously, the original is going to be the original, right? It's always going to be good. And I think the original right now is still applicable to the current generation. I think they get it and they understand it. So you can take Ferris Bueller, which is really well produced, well written. It's a beautiful film. It looks good. And I think that you can probably throw it on the current generation and they would totally appreciate it and understand it. Could you remake it? Yeah. Would it really be that different from the original? I don't know that it would. That's a great question. There's a lot that can go wrong with remaking any of these movies, by the way, just because Tart can get involved and screw it all up. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, though, I think is a timeless story that you can remake over and over again, and I think that it would always probably be entertaining. So, yeah, you can probably get away with remaking Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but beyond that, I think that the current iteration of Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a bit timeless. It's just one of those topics that everybody can relate to. It's kind of like the Breakfast Club. You can modernize the Breakfast Club a little bit, but I think Ferris Bueller's Day Off would probably work, you know, if done properly. Major League, one of the greatest movies of all time. I freaking love that movie. I've watched that movie thousands of times. I absolutely love Major League. And as much as I love Major League, could it be remade? No. Can't remake it. I'm sorry, you can't do it. Baseball looks very different than it did in this 1989 comic smash. Sure, there were a couple of sequels back in the day, 94 or 98, but why not give the kids of these classic characters a chance at World Series glory? Long way satirize just how much the game culture around has changed. Think of Willie Mays Hayes Jr. balancing his bustling Instagram account and outfield duties. Imagine a wiser Wild Thing Charlie Sheen giving new pitching prospect tips on closing out game and handling groupies. Picture Juan Serrano, son of Pedro, getting heat for cultural appropriation with his pre-game rituals and everything else. See, I don't think you can remake Major League. I really don't. You know, it's just one of those things where I don't know how the Ferris Bueller's Day Off thing will work. You know, if you're not just going to remake the film, but, you know, do like an extension. But Major League is just one of those things where it's like there's so much in Major League. If you go back and you watch Major League, there is so much in that movie that wouldn't fly with today's culture. And I don't think that you could properly do it justice. I think if you made Major League, you would be highlighting how a great film was amazing, and you couldn't make that great film now because of all these stupid social justice nonsense. So I don't think that Major League works out. I really don't. The Burbs. This is an interesting one because I love The Burbs too. In this 1989 film, Tom Hanks gets spooked by his neighbors, a foolish clan of murky intentions. With murky intentions, we capture the cloistered nature of the modern Southern class types. Get a tad too nosy about their neighborhood. How come to bring this story into the 21st century, you ask? Enter Karen, a modern menace who does more than Snoop and Pete. The rise of Karen's nationwide is perfect fodder. Great new Burbs installment. One loaded with next door fuel arguments, ring doorbell videos, and once again Snoopy neighbors. I think you can pull the Burbs off.
Assholes.
I really do.
Wow.
I think you can pull the Burbs off. You can throw in there, you
Wow.
know, arguing on their neighbor with the homeowners association and that sort of stuff. I think you could probably do a Burbs, you know, sequel, whatever you want to call it, I guess, remake, sequel. I think you could probably do
What
that.
car is he running?
Burbs is a great film. If you haven't seen the Burbs, man.
The Group 2 NSX, the 2016.
And I watch it every couple of years, and I'm like, man, this is good. It's just so good. I'm getting ready to show some John Candy movies.
And my wheel
kids.
is
I think Uncle Buck and the Great
not
Outdoors
happy.
are my first options here. Great Outdoors probably first. I
My
think
wheel
that
is
my
not
oldest
happy right
is
now.
ready for that. I don't know about my youngest, but I don't really want to wait. So, The Great Outdoors, I think, is one of John Candy's best movies, and Uncle Buck is underrated, if you ask me. Footloose is one of the other ones. A 2011 remake with Rising and Falling Star, Kenny Burke-Wald. Don't know who that is. Went nowhere. Why? Well, the 1984 original, as was remains, captured the essence of dance.
The Group 2 NSX,
the remake
2016.
captured that same soul, and audiences reacted accordingly. Why revisit a franchise based on an antiquated premise that's updated for the modern era? A libertarian college group wants to start a freewheeling dance club on campus, but the usual woke subjects won't let it happen. This will not work.
2016 Group 2.
You're gonna get to Footloose, guys. Footloose is not going to work. Nope. And frankly, it was a crap film anyway. The Outsiders. This one I find to be interesting. You can probably do The Outsiders, but how? I don't know. I'm back and forth on this. I really am. Let's see. What do they want to use with it? Change up the setting. The original centered on Oklahoma teams and turmoil. Why not take teams from the same Midwestern state and have them stuck in a progressive big city, ready to rub with urban teens from a very different culture? Well, because people would automatically, call it hate crime stuff and everything else. I don't know how you can make The Outsiders today. I think it's one of those films you can't make today. It's just whether you're going to remake it or add on to it. I don't think you can do The Outsiders today. Caddyshack, I think you can do. I was just thinking about this. It's funny that this article came out because I was just thinking about this the other day, and I'm like, man, as glorious as the Caddyshack franchise is, what could it do for the game of golf to get young people involved in golf again? I know that golf is becoming popular with younger people, but what could something like that really do to help golf? I mean, that would be a big deal whenever we have the league and everything else. So, yeah, I think that Caddyshack can absolutely be made. I really do. You're not going to have Rodney Dangerfield, obviously, or Jackie Mason, but I think that you could really do this, honestly. I honestly think that you can totally do a Caddyshack, and I think there's a lot of talent out there that would be able to make Caddyshack very, very successful. And I wouldn't be opposed to having like overseas stuff on, country club types being like NBA celebrities or something of that nature. I think that would work out. So I don't know, man. What do you guys think? What are other movies
find the missing
in?
time.
I'd be interested in seeing that. Let's see. Uncle Buck is bad. I love Uncle Buck, man. Uncle Buck is so good. So underrated. But I'm a big fan of the Great Outdoors too. The stupid trash pandas, man. They're so good. Let's see.
If you want it like it's cool, but it'll handle a lot better 5 to the front.
Every time you guys comment, it goes away. You may run like haze, but you hit like exactly, man. Big Trouble in Little China. What a good movie. Oh my gosh, what a good movie. Big Trouble in Little China. I used to watch that a lot, man. One of Kurt Russell's best. Let's see.
Escape from New York.
Stripes? I don't know, man. Stripes has a lot of offensive stuff in it. Could you do Stripes? Yeah, I think you could. You could make Stripes about some, secret shady FBI unit or something like that. Red Dawn, but do it the right way. Yeah, and the remake of Red Dawn I thought was decent. Obviously it just wasn't, it lost some of its punch because you're dealing with a force that obviously couldn't do that. So, that's just one of the things. Like, the remake of Red Dawn was okay. But doing Red Dawn the proper way, yeah, that's always going to be Red Dawn.
139.9.
Red Dawn. What if okay, hold on a second. Premise. What if it's Red Dawn, the enemy is the U.S. government? What if we finally get to that point? What if we make Red Dawn leftists off so much. It'll make them so freaking angry, dude. I do. Red Dawn, if you make it that way, where all of a sudden, okay, so let's say you go into the future, like 30 years, all of a sudden there's a gun registry, right? They ban high-capacity magazines. They've taken your AR-15s, or they haven't taken them yet, okay, but there's a registry of them. And now all of a sudden, they start knocking on people's doors to take firearms away. And there could be some other, thing happening where, I don't know, a pandemic maybe. Start taking people out of their homes and things like that. They're on the run with 3D printers. 3D print guns. Dude, Red Dawn done that way would be a huge hit. You just, only the Daily Wire can do something like that right now. Nobody else has the balls to do it. But Daily Wire can do that.
Yep.
Let's see. Goonies. I've thought about the Goonies. I think, okay, so I watched the Goonies with my kids a couple of months ago. And it's always funny to me when you go back and you watch the classics that you watched as a kid, and you realize that, wow, there's a lot of cussing in these movies. There's a lot of cussing. I mean, not a lot, but there's a lot more cussing in it than you would assume. So, like, my oldest is like, Dad's got cussing in it. It's just like, you just gotta let it go. It's a different time. Just let it go. It's okay. She gets a little irritated. There's cussing because she knows she's not supposed to say it.
Still can't run wide open.
But, yeah, there's a lot of S words in that movie. But there's a ton of stuff in Goonies that you could never put in the film right now. You can't fat shame somebody. You can't do the things that they did to Chunk. I mean, you couldn't do it at all anymore. But yeah, Goonies, I suppose there's a way for you to remake it that it would be pretty cool.
Okay, what did you say in the chat about
if you're gonna do Goonies,
second stint?
You have to build an actual set. You can't just do CG nonsense. You gotta make an actual, like, lagoon and everything else if you're gonna do it. So that would be interesting.
Okay.
Let's see. Gremlins, maybe.
So, fill the tank.
Gremlins is an option. Caddyshack had a bad remake. That's true. And that's just I do, man. I think the Caddyshack could work. Caddyshack is just one of those storylines where really you just need somebody who's stepping on everybody's toes. There's so many characters.
So you're saying all the way
you can make work with Caddyshack
-5 on the brakes.
Honestly, I love the idea of a super wealthy, elitist NBA player playing country club crowd and, like, mixed bag.
I'm afraid of locking up the fronts.
Like, invading their space. I love the idea of that, just to kind of juxtaposition how things have changed. Let's see, what else do we have here? Well, Back to the Future is something that you could do. You could do Back to the Future. But, alright. Marty can't be a part of it. He's, his Parkinson's makes it tough. He can make a cameo, right? It could be his kid linking up with is the doc still alive?
Oh shit, come on now. Yes, Christopher Lloyd is still alive. Yes, Christopher Lloyd is still alive.
I mean, if the doc is still alive, it could be Marty's kid.
In Expedition, what is it? It was on Discovery, Discovery Plus. Expedition Unknown, the Back to the Future edition. It was really, 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 really good.
The government loves you. Alright, I'll take a look at it after that. Doc's alive, we can bring it back, okay. Yeah, I thought he was, but I wasn't sure. Well, okay, so Goose, here's the thing, man. So Bill Murray's getting canceled right now, right? So you bring back Caddyshack, you let Bill Murray come back and do Caddyshack. Now Bill Murray is maybe not the landscaper guy, maybe he's like
the 2?
And you give him an opportunity to come back and get over this cancel culture nonsense stuff that he's dealing with right now. So, yeah, man, I honestly, I think Red Dawn, where it's our government coming for us, would be like just mixing Jericho. For those of you who didn't watch the TV series Jericho, highly recommend it, really good. The series ended before there was a resolution. So they actually made comic books that finish the story. And I would love to see a movie made about Jericho's storyline, which included the comic books. I would love to see that. Yeah, we're getting into the 90s there, but the Jericho storyline is so
Dave and you,
good.
what's your best lap with the 2?
The premise behind it is really, really great. I would love to see, I would absolutely love to see a real movie done.
Not bad, Pat.
That kind of picked up.
Yeah, the 139.9. Yeah, that's my best lap to my knowledge. I've got 139 before. I can't remember
one for Jericho fans, but two,
what tenths it was.
Anybody would love it. And
I took a picture of it. It's up on Boom's Discord.
Don't really know. Basically,
Should have it on my phone too.
The country went to war with itself, and nobody knew because everything was knocked out. Nobody had any ideas. This town of Jericho was like, it exists after a nuclear blast. Nobody understood what was going on. And eventually they make their way to Texas. It's like the Texas National Guard versus, the federal forces and stuff like that. Very, very interesting how they tied it all up with the comic book ideas afterwards. But yeah, man, Red Dawn versus the tyrannical government. Yeah, perfect. 2 thumbs up for me. 100%. Oh, there's a link. This isn't gonna get me in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble now. Comments are turned off. Interesting.
What about the feeling on dating sex? Is it good?
It's only got 2,500 views. Hey man, I'll listen to it later and see if it's worth the rotation. Put that in there. If nothing else on the live stream, maybe as like intro music or something like that. I just want to get the thing done. Alright, anything else? Any other movies you can think of that are really good for making a remake or an add-on like Maverick or something like that? I'm just chilling today, guys. I had a heavy day yesterday. Got a bunch of stuff that I got to record tomorrow. That could be shadow banned. I don't know. I can't get any views on my YouTube videos. None. And my SEO game on YouTube videos are good. It's all of the SEO that I'm doing on those YouTube videos that I upload them. It's solid, YouTube creator kit SEO, and it's just not. They won't let anybody. Airplane, come on, man! They can't. They can't make any of the airplanes now. That's just it. Like if you're gonna remake it or you're gonna add on to it, you have to be able to keep the spirit of it, right? So that's my big concern with you start taking a look at the Outsiders. Like you couldn't keep the spirit of Outsiders. Nobody would allow it. And Major League, maybe you can do it Major League. I don't know.
I'm going to give this car a try just like let's see how it runs.
Shit, damn it!
Keep the spirit of airplane.
I gotta concentrate on the road. I can't be looking at the tag.
So
I can't see the numbers anyway.
Thanks for your feedback.
If the tag,
just not
if the tag gave me a very sweet out like mosquito, it'll be more useful for me. I'm just listening to the car as far as my ship points. I know if I'm in the white or whatever color that is. I'm just calling it white.
I mean, you could make it. Yeah,
it's in the white, you know, you're way...
5070
I think that was... I enjoyed Defiance, man. I really did. It was a little hokey and stuff, but I enjoyed Defiance. I looked forward to it. When Defiance season came out, I was super happy because it gave me, you know, just a really fun thing to watch at night. Everybody was in bed. I enjoyed Defiance. I think if they made a movie out of Defiance, I think they would probably do really well with a, you know, full crowd. Maybe not release it in the movie theaters, but maybe something on Netflix type of thing or something like that. But yeah, Defiance was fun, dude. I enjoyed that show. I really did. Some of the actors in Defiance have gone on to do some really cool stuff too. Anything with Haim in it, maybe, yeah. That's just it. Like, yes. What about like Lost Boys? Could they do the Lost Boys? They could probably redo the Lost Boys, right? Lost Boys was such a part of my childhood. I'm sure that you could probably redo the Lost Boys and still make it worthwhile without making it all hokey and, you know, lingering vampires and all that other crap. I'm trying to think of what else, man. We spent time going through a list of movies we probably do it. Like Breakfast Club, we could probably do. Did they do everything in Breakfast Club? We could probably do Breakfast Club anyway. That's timeless. I wouldn't mind seeing new Gremlins. I really would. I think you could redo Gremlins, which is fine. So we mentioned Gremlins earlier. Considering showing Gremlins to Alice, my youngest I don't think is ready, but my oldest I think I can probably show Gremlins too. I think my youngest is ready. The problem is that she'll get obsessed with it. They both like horror games, so she'll get obsessed with it. Modernize The Godfather. This is the thing. Like, look, I really believe The Godfather is overrated. I think you can make The Godfather. I think you can make The Godfather better, and I think you can do it in 2 hours. I don't know, man. The Godfather is... I did not appreciate it until I was an adult. You know, everybody around me really enjoyed it. The adults did. You know, they would watch it and everything else, but it's so freaking long. It just drags and drags and drags. But yeah, I mean, if you could do a Godfather movie, yeah, I think you totally could. That's what we need. We need those movies like Godfather, you know, like Professional and stuff like that. We need those like shooter executor type movies again. You can never make My Cousin Vinny. Yeah?
Tired of
It wouldn't work. I don't think it would work. Although anything that has Versatone in it, you got those. If she makes an appearance today, that woman, she never doesn't get prettier. Like, it's bizarre. She's just one of those people that just continues to get better looking as she ages. My Cousin Vinny's so good. Yeah, that's true. They probably don't know anything about the mafia, and you could do. It's a period piece too. Like, it doesn't have to be modern, you know. Because everything is Yakuza now. Every mob film is Yakuza. It's all Yakuza. It's not.
Okay.
They don't show the honorable side of the mafia, which is a big part of mafia life. So yeah, if you show that stuff, that'd be great. Yeah, Blazing Saddles, you can't do that.
Nope.
And Blazing Saddles, there's cancelled Blazing Saddles every year or two, and they came to them not that long ago. And that's again, you're dealing with the lowest common denominator. You don't know anything. Blazing Saddles was lampooning racism. That was the point of Blazing Saddles.
Exactly.
And you know, because leftists don't have a sense of humor. And because leftists don't have a sense of humor, they can't understand the nuance of how Blazing Saddles was using racism to criticize racism, so they didn't get it. And you know, it's if you're unwilling to have fun and you're unwilling to unplug, just kind of chill out for a little bit because everything is offensive, you'll never appreciate a Blazing Saddles. You know, like Revenge of the Nerds, and we had Porky's, like all of those things that, you know, were the American
Look up as an operator and join his discords. There is a setup section and
Patriots another
screenshots are on
fantastic
there.
movie. Somebody was just telling me the other day that they saw Patriot for the first time. And great movie. You can remake movies like that, I think, all the time. Timeless stories. Animal House. Can you imagine trying to do Animal House right now?
Oh, shit.
Could you imagine trying to do Animal House now, today's day and age? Honestly. I think Sneakers is interesting. There might be something with Sneakers.
Shit. Oh,
I haven't watched Sneakers in a
anyway.
long time, and I watched it back. It was a really good movie. And, yeah, Sneakers is, yeah.
Thanks, my dude. Appreciate your feedback.
I can get old.
Honestly, and even though it's not an old film, I would love to see them do PCU again.
What, Pepper?
And
Hi,
PCU is
Pepper.
an old movie.
Hi, Pepper.
PCU.
Hi, Pepper.
PCU called out
Hi,
culture
Pepper.
on campus before anybody realized there was woke culture on campus. And unfortunately, Jeremy Privet is a friggin' pro-censorship libtard now. But at the time,
One
what he
moment.
was playing was calling out that stuff. Calling out the stuffy Republicans, calling out the crazy ultra left-wing liberals, and just trying to be normal people who wanted to have fun. But yeah, PCU I think needs to be remade. It's the movie that everybody needs to see anyway. Timeless movie, but you could remake PCU with all of the new stuff that's happening on campus right now. My God, you get professors involved in all of it. It would be great. It'd be good stuff, and really just be about the free speech type people who are just trying to have fun in college and you know, get a good education, getting constantly attacked by everybody else. But if you haven't seen PCU, I definitely recommend that you watch it. And of course, politically correct university is what PCU stands for. But super good movie, very, very funny. All right, now we're at 147, folks. I think I'm gonna get going. Just wanted to do a light one today, just kind of hang out with you guys. I haven't hung out with you guys in a while, and just wanted to kind of chill, give you a couple of stories, but you know, just do some interactive stuff and kind of vibe a little bit before the radio show today. Looks like the weather's gonna be good tonight, so hopefully I'll be able to do some stuff today. Although I don't know, looks like the sun's going way down. It was just a minute ago. Now it's starting to go away. Oh. Hold on a second.
Alright, sorry about that.
Canadian Bacon wouldn't be a bad remake either, dude. I mean, let's be honest. We reference Canadian Bacon like way too much, and you know, I get it's a Michael Moore film, but it was a good movie. God, I don't know.
Socks are done, supposedly.
John Candy. Stupid movies and stuff, filmography. Alright, let's take a look here. God, he was so good. Yeah. Oh, Canadian Bacon was his last one.
Come on, save the friggin' picture.
Running's decent too.
Yeah.
We've kind of done like types
Thank
of
you.
movies.
Also, the other group C cars when they show back up. The CL8 is a beast.
Alright, so, yeah, I gotta get back in the swing.
The ones based off of like Bullwinkle.
I'm not opening those yet.
20 mil.
Yep. No, 724,000 was the winning.
I'm glad you all.
Because you get the clean race bonus and the regular payout. Or regular payout and the clean race bonus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that like Spies? Spies Like Us? Was John
One
Candy?
more mil to go.
No, Spies Like Us was Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd.
Spaceballs, you gotta redo Spaceballs. You have to. I'm talking about John Candy. We were promised a part 2 of Spaceballs and it never happened.
Yep.
We definitely need Spaceballs. God, he made a lot of movies. Holy smokes. Don't Stop Performers can be made today. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. So, Spies Like Us, I don't know that he was in that. That was Dan Aykroyd. And Spies Like Us was such a flipping good movie, dude. That was Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd, I think.
You got the hang of the wheel now, Dave, to do the one stop.
So good. You guys ever see that? God, that movie was funny. It was so funny. It was so good. Oh, I didn't know Dan Aykroyd and Dave Thomas wrote that. That's why it was good. Spies Like Us was such a good movie.
Yep.
You can totally redo something
It
like
was
that today.
fun. Spies Like Us was fun.
Oh, that's the one you were thinking of? Okay, because that was the first one that popped in my head. But I'm like, I don't think John Candy was in it. Did he make a cameo? I wonder if he made a cameo.
So let's do this. My wheel needs to
Heidi
breathe
Sorensen, who was
a little bit.
everybody's like love interest at the time. Yeah, it doesn't look like he didn't make an appearance in that. Yeah, Spies Like Us, man, such a good movie. Oh God, yeah, Great Outdoors, Tia. We were talking about Great Outdoors because I'm going to be showing that to my daughters here soon. It's one of my all-time favorites. Love the Great Outdoors, absolutely love it. Wagons East, yeah, Wagons East, interesting. I haven't seen that in forever. Another Peter Markle. Peter Markle's like everywhere. Was that 1994? Richard Lewis is in it as well. Wagons East. I haven't seen that in so long. I didn't realize it was made in the 90s. Richard Lewis, man, he made so many good movies.
Good
Oh
grief.
yeah, I am convinced. I want to show them Uncle Buck too, but I want to show them the Great Outdoors first.
My phone is
And then Uncle Buck will
crying
come
to
after
be
that. I've
restarted.
been playing this out like months. We just have to get everybody in the house at the same time. So.
Oh, it's so laggy right now.
So that was the one that he died in the very mid. Okay, that's why.
Come
All
on
right.
now. Good
All right, well,
grief.
folks, let's say, I'm gonna grab some food. I need to grab some chow for the radio show I haven't eaten yet today. So
Wow.
hopefully you had fun, just kind of hanging out and chilling for a little bit, just a couple of little light stories and stuff like that. And then of course we don't do the early show on Fridays.
Okay. Let's go jump in the beast. Take another quick look in here. See if anything changed. We got that. The soap dish. You know what, let's go read the history about it, actually.
from every person infected. Not from the virus, but by the news and the politicians elected. Get the establishment getting fed up at the rate at which we rejected. Their policies, ideologies designed to keep us divided. There's nothing good really came from any program they provided. The rate of crime, drugs, education, and the wage gaps all wide. Unappeared leaders all over-prepping men like President Biden. How dare you abandon Americans left stranded out some foreign land, lost helicopter, military drones, and all because of your poor man. You say you practice Catholicism, but you won't protect the innocent. You'd rather have many babies all butchered up like venison. Your nonchalant, foul attitude is evidence that you cheated. One thumbs down, then thumbs up, and that comments all get deleted. The patriots everywhere you go, making sure you're properly greeted. When everybody put Trump in there, hope you get the message and beat it. Now we can try to impeach, but that ain't gonna bring no relief. Both him and the vice president is a lying, murdering thief. We're slowly watching it burn as my heart is filling with grief. The United States been set ablaze by the current trade-in chief.
See if we can put some wheels on it. Nope. Nothing. Nothing I have anyway. Nope. Still nothing. Can't change them. I just want to change the color of the wheels.
With brands like Stickley, Hancock, Theodore Alexander, and Hickory White, you're invited to their home. See Kramer Interiors on University Drive in Granger.
From the Final Phase Electric Studios, from the first step to the final phase, industrial and commercial electrical done right. Casey Hendrickson.
I'm here, skipping some comments. I'll be doing the CLK GR2 and McLaren Longtail when they come back into the Legends. Also the other Group C cars when they show back up. The CLK is a beast. Dave, you hear 2-0 now? One more
I don't
minute
have the
ago.
CLK.
You got the hang of the fuel now, Dave, to do the one stop.
Officer has shot and killed a suspicious person outside of an Alabama school. They're not releasing a lot of
I don't have the CLK.
The city runs a summer program for kids at that particular school. So once again, want to remind you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I want to get 20 million.
Guy dead. Uvalde School District is now saying that they are going to have armed security officers throughout the summer program at every one of their schools. They have that in place now. Going forward, they will have armed security at every one of their schools, and they are hiring more people to do it. So once again, armed good guy kills bad guy. This is how this is done. This is very simple. This is very basic. This is nothing that is complicated or unusual for people to understand. If you have any basic level of intellect whatsoever, you know that this is how this works.
All right.
If we protect all of our valuable people, air quote valuable people, our VIPs, if you will, which often have less value to us than anybody else, if we protect them with firearms, you should protect the most precious amongst us with firearms. It really is that simple. And you hope that they never, ever have to use it. And you hope that if they do have to use it, that all they have to do is put their hand on that firearm or draw that firearm, and that person surrenders and gives up right away, and nobody has to shoot anybody. That's what the hope is for. But you have to be prepared to take somebody's life if that goes down, and you have to have the tools to be able to do that. So you've got a situation in Alabama, in Gadsden, Alabama, where authorities say that a person who was outside an Alabama elementary school was shot to death by police. And again, this is an armed school resource officer.
What's in the middle?
So this is how this is supposed to go down. You threaten kids,
Actually, that's
you
not
die.
what I want.
You want to strip in front of kids? We space you. Really isn't that difficult.
Exactly.
And no, I don't really equate them to be all that much different. To be perfectly honest with you. You're trying to victimize children, you're the worst in the world, and you deserve the absolute worst treatment. So Uvalde's getting the message. It's too late, but Uvalde's getting the message. They're also not allowing anybody back in that school ever again. They're going to destroy the site. They don't know where they're going to put the students next year, that sort of thing. So we saw that with Parkland, too. Nobody went back into that school after the tragedy at Parkland. It is official. It happened this afternoon. This is, I guess you could call it breaking news.
Seriously?
The average gas price in the United States now is over $5. Throughout most of the day today, it has been just under $5. Indiana has it. You probably heard Amelia talk about this morning. Indiana now has the fastest growing gas prices in the country. Thanks, Chinless. Appreciate that. Friendly reminder, about 74 cents per gallon right now of your Indiana gas tax, well, your Indiana price per gallon is taxes. 56 cents of that is Indiana taxes alone. It is what it is. You know, I used to tell people all the time, we were across the border, and we used to get gasoline on the Indiana side, and then all of a sudden it became a lot cheaper to get it on the Michigan side of things once Indiana raised their gas taxes. So it's official this afternoon throughout the entire country. The average is now over $5 per gallon. It has dropped in a couple of places
I'll be doing the CLKGR2 and McLaren Longtail when they come back into the Legends. Also the other Group C cars when they show back up. The CLK is a beast. Dave, you're 2-0 mil. 1 more mil to go. You got the hang of the fuel now, Dave, to do the one stop.
It was never created to target foreigners. It was never created to target Russians or anything like that. It was always to target you. That's why it existed. That's what its mission statement was. They lied about it repeatedly over and over and over again. The truth has come out. Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri and Charles Grassley of Iowa released a series of documents on Wednesday showing that the Biden administration's Disinformation Governance Board was intended to have a domestic focus despite promises from administration officials. They are constantly and perpetually lying to you. Joe Biden the other day told like 3 lies in 15 seconds. He went on Jimmy Kimmel yesterday and he told a bunch more. Jimmy Kimmel's not smart enough to catch them, nor would he care to anyway because he's a stooge. We'll cover some of that a little bit later on today. Top Biden administration officials, most notably Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, who should be impeached, repeatedly claimed that the board would focus on disinformation pushed by foreign actors. Where have we heard that crap before? Patriot Act, anybody? Remember that? Oh, the Patriot Act is it's not going to be used against Americans. What are you talking about? It's all designed to go after terrorists. What is the Patriot Act used for today 90% of the time? It's used today for drug and gang offenses inside the United States. It's not used on foreigners almost ever. However, the documents released by Hawley and Grassley revealed that the board intended to target alleged disinformation by topic, not by national origin, which is exactly what we told you the Ministry of Truth was going to do. That's why we called it the Ministry of Truth. It's a direct creation of Orwell's nightmare. The Department of Homeland Security, quote, paused the board in May before it began operations. Leading up to that, we uncovered a ton. Not just about the crazy Mary Poppins lady, not just about the board itself. We uncovered a ton of stuff surrounding it. on the organization, how it got started, everything else. We were able to dig up so much information about the disinformation board that they actually had to pause and go, holy smokes, we can't hide this. So they paused it in May before it began operations, although it does have the option to bring it back. And as I've told you before, they will bring it back, only next time they're not going to tell you it's coming. You're going to wake up one day and there's going to be an executive order that's been signed somewhere and this thing is now in place. That's what's going to happen. They're going to try and sneak it through somehow. The leaked document showed that the Biden administration expressed particular concern about, air quote, conspiracy theories about the validity and security of elections. Oh, did it now? Okay, cool. Let's take a look at just some. I just got something. Just a little sidebar here today, just in case you're at all curious. I'm gonna pull it up.
Wait, it didn't come with it?
Yeah, Democrat
What shit is that?
admitted to massive voter fraud and is
Seriously?
being charged. Cool. That's breaking today, by the way. That's brand new today.
What?
So we've had, what, 3 people in the past week and a half get charged with election fraud?
Interesting.
One lady, consistently, her charges keep getting added to over and over and over again. Yeah, maybe not run with that line, huh? They weren't focused on conspiracy theories, folks. They were focused on you actually learning.
Damn, this NSX is a beast. Ran a 1395 laps, and thanks for the car, fellas. I like this
Shortly
thing.
before 2020,
Yeah.
expressing concern
It's a
about
nice
the
car.
rampant history in Wayne County of voter fraud. Now, why did prominent Democratic senators, 7 of them, why did they send that letter to Wayne County? Because they thought that Trump cheated in Wayne County in 2016. That's what they alleged repeatedly for years and years and years. They thought that he cheated in Wayne County. Wayne County had a history of cheating, and they wanted Wayne County to know that they weren't going to tolerate cheating anymore. Suddenly, Wayne County's boarding up windows, kicking out poll observers, kicking them out, not allowing them to do anything, secret cars coming in, a bunch of weird stuff, and counting votes behind closed doors. But they're not supposed to be counting votes behind closed doors. By the way, that's illegal. Can't do that. But they did it anyway, and nobody got charged. Hundreds of people, sworn affidavits. We've watched them double count these ballots. Sworn affidavits. You go to prison if you lie in that affidavit. Never investigated.
Gotta put hers on.
When you get somebody to sign a sworn affidavit where they can go to jail,
And
you should
now
probably take their word that maybe you need to
I
investigate.
refer to Scotty's
But they didn't want
setup.
to bother. Trust me, we'll get to Whipper later. Because Whipper's at it again. But I just want to remind you, while they're sitting there focused on a supposed conspiracy theory, just a friendly reminder that a Democrat got arrested and is charged with voter fraud today. What else do we have here?
Okay.
Let's see. They also wanted to focus on the COVID-19 vaccines and the efficacy of masks. That was the other thing they wanted to focus on, the disinformation of.
55,
There is no efficacy of
55.
masks. Masks don't work on airborne viruses. Period. End of story. You go to the FDA's website right now. It says that exact same thing. You can't make that claim about a surgical mask. A surgical mask is better than a cloth mask. The N95 mask will
5 and
protect your
10.
eyeballs from being infected. An N95 mask can't be worn for extended periods of time.
10.
An N95 mask is not made for children. Okay, N95 mask also leads to massive respiratory issues if you wear it for extended
31,
periods of time.
31.
That is a mask that can be effective, but the particle size for COVID is still small enough to go right through an N95 mask. But I'm willing to concede that it'll
43,
give you some
43.
protection for a couple of minutes, according to the research. About 3 to 7 minutes, they say, an N95 mask will protect you in an environment where you have an airborne virus around
Seems
you.
pretty
About 3
familiar.
to 7 minutes, that's about it. And after that, your mask is totally useless. So that's what the research says. I gave you, and I'm the only one in the country who did it, I gave you every single
35,
clinical trial peer-reviewed study on
425.
masks going back 13 years. Nobody else did. I did.
25.
But they don't want me to tell you that.
With 35.
Just like they didn't want me to link directly to the NIH's website a few weeks ago, well, a couple months ago, I guess now,
And
where they went
then
ahead and censored me on social media.
3.0.
All I was doing was quoting the studies that were 2 studies, peer-reviewed, 1 study that said the other peer-reviewed studies
And
were plausible
3.0.
on the NIH website about the Pfizer vaccine causing a hepatitis infection of the liver, which is what's infecting kids all over the world right now. They didn't want you to know that. So they wanted the disinformation board to focus on
And
people
then
like me, who are just pointing out the government research on what was
take
happening. Well, I
these
shouldn't say
straight
government
down
research, it wasn't government research. It was research
nothing.
published on the government website. Falsehoods surrounding U.S. government immigration policy. Like what? What falsehoods? With U.S. government immigration policy. What falsehoods are we talking about here? That would be real interesting. Would it be falsehoods like America saying,
Zero on the front and the back.
Closed, which is a total and complete lie? Those falsehoods?
Okay. We're going to diff down to
they were specifically targeting
5, 5, and 60.
Specifically targeting their political opponents. They were specifically going after you. They weren't going after Russian agents or Chinese agents or anything like that. They were targeting
60.
you, and then they lied in front of Congress, and they lied in front of the cameras and every opportunity that they had to tell you that they weren't. And now they've been exposed and uncovered for the liars that they are. We have more coming up. 95.3 MNC.
Casey Hendrickson. 95.3.
And this is Scotty's setup. I need 350. 765 and 1412. 765. 1420.
Yeah, you can focus on. You can focus on 3 hours. Just gotta do it.
Okay. And then we drop 79 and 70.
The whole face, guys. You're gonna use saran wrap.
Wait a minute. Seriously? I gotta fucking get back out? Son of a bitch. Damn it. Give us access, man. Grandfather clock. Bong, bong, bong. And I was on that tab also.
No, fake Emma, I do not want to talk to you.
So experience the difference at Impress Jewelry Creations, located in Granger on University Drive next to Sim Racing Interiors.
Are you tired of being tracked online? There's a
Screw you, DuckDuckGo. You suck.
It's an all-in-one privacy app with a built-in private search engine, web browser, one-click data clearing, email protection, and more, all for free. Download the app today and get the most comprehensive privacy protection with a push.
Well, yeah, you gotta make sure you put a rubber band, a really tight rubber band, Val. Saran wrap your face. Very, very, very tight rubber band around the neck. That way, nothing can get in. That's the important thing. You gotta make sure that nothing gets in. You probably want one like around the head too. Whether it's a headband, a rubber band, what have you. Can't let anything get in there. It's muy importante.
When it comes to cybersecurity, the biggest threats will always strike the biggest targets. Almost
1
half
a.m.
of all cyber attacks target small businesses. So help protect yours with Comcast Business Security Edge. It's advanced security that
and we continue on.
for threats and helps protect every connected device. The choice is clear. Get unbeatable business solutions.
Yeah, wash your hands for 20 seconds, sanitize afterwards.
80, 50, and 70.
Stuff. Oh, is saran wrap going up? Will dollar store saran wrap do any good? You can just reuse it, right? Especially if you sneeze in it.
Fit to the front, fit to the back. Fit to the back. No, front. Alright, so we're going to put some weight up front. And power goes down to 70.
Are you ready?
Tranny. 360.
So sorry about the Telegram bot thing. I forgot about that. There's been an issue with Anchor hasn't pushed my podcast to other platforms lately.
4903.
So they're 12 episodes behind. So I manually put them over on Podbean, but Podbean like feeds Telegram. So you guys got kind of blown up on Telegram. Sorry about that. All right. Hi.
Mary the gardener.
Before I plant a tree, I contact 811.
And like the land.
Stop, fake Emma.
Prevent damages or injury. Call 811 or go online at 811.org.
Sponsored by the Indiana Utility Research Transmission Station and the Indiana Broadcasters Association.
Hey everybody, Casey Hendrickson here for R&B Car Company. Again, locations South Bend, Warsaw, Columbia City. Hey, go to R&B Car Company, take a look at their inventory. You can also calculate the value of your trade-in right there on the website. You got the payment calculator, all the normal bells and whistles and everything else that you typically have on the websites there. So go take a look at them again right now, rbcarcompany.com.
Thanks, Scotty.
We got our last vehicle. It is
Good job.
Absolutely awesome place to buy cars. Super easy. They're very chill over there. No hidden games or shenanigans or anything like that that you would have to worry about. So all you got to do is just go to rbcarcompany.com, take a look at their inventory, let them know what vehicles you want to test drive. If you want one shipped in from one of their other locations, they do that frequently for people who are shopping for cars. And then you can go test drive. And just like that, you'll have a great experience. You'll hopefully get the deal that you want, and you'll be able to drive away with a much better vehicle than you have now. Go to RV Car Company or R&B Car Company's physical locations. Please let them know that I sent you.
Michiana's Morning News on 95.3 MNC, your breaking news and weather station.
Remember, find a front for your brake fire.
95.3 Michiana's News Channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. Just running through something here real quick, sorry. Okay. Some of the other things that we learned about the Disinformation Board, the Ministry of Truth, that the Biden administration still wants to start. They're only pausing it until the story goes away. Another document revealed that the DHS hoped to create a public-private partnership with Twitter. Oh, I'm shocked. I am shocked that they hope to use Twitter to target so-called disinformation on the site. The document, a scheduling memo, shows that DHS viewed Mayorkas' meeting with two top social media executives as an opportunity for Twitter to, quote, become involved in disinformation governance board
back to the front.
exchanges. Now, remember when I told you how they were putting together this giant database
fuel strategy.
of stuff? Remember I talked about this here, what, a week or two ago?
Actually, I can do that in here, can I? Yes, I'm pretty sure I can.
Recall at any time.
Brake bias.
You become a political enemy or inconvenient for them in any way, shape, or form. They just go ahead and pull it all up on you.
Front.
Mark is also instructed.
So I won't have to remember to do it.
Offer data to Twitter that would better allow the company to target content for removal.
Okay.
Now, what that means is exactly what Jen Psaki had a Freudian slip about many, many moons ago, where she said, we hope that Twitter will target disinformation more, like this specific disinformation. But we would never tell them to do that. We just hope that they do. Remember when she did that? One of her press conferences? So this memo basically says, we're hoping that as Twitter joins on with this effort here, that we can tell them what to remove, and they'll just go remove it. In public statements, Mayorkas claimed that the board would only focus on international sources of disinformation. Bullcrap. That is a lie. He needs to pay for that. We address disinformation that presents a security threat to the homeland, he said on Fox News back in May. Disinformation from Russia, from China, from Iran, from the cartels. Yep, that's a lie.
All right.
The secretary echoed a similar line in a letter to Hawley that was included in the
car
document
settings.
to Senator Hawley. The department is focused on disinformation that threatens the security of the American people, including disinformation spread by foreign states such as Russia, China, and Iran, or other adversaries such as transnational criminal organizations and human smuggling operations. Now, I want to remind everybody who Who was that guy? Gosh, I wish I could remember. It would take me like 5 minutes to
All
find
right,
it,
so
but I don't have
fuel
time
strategy.
Do you remember?
Go jump on
when
Discord
there was
and look in setups.
Twitter, there was a candidate that was running for office somewhere in some state. He was running for Senate. This is a few years back. He's running for Senate, and there was a whole Twitter campaign against him. And it was a Twitter campaign, and it looked like his supporters were all Russian bots or agents. Remember that? And he came out and he issued a statement, and he goes, "This is all Russian propaganda or something. Like, this is all fake news, these Russian bots." And he was attacked mercilessly in the news media. So the news media is basically saying that all of this guy's support was Russian. And no real support. Everything pushing him and his platform was Russian. And it was just another example of how a Trump ally was a stooge of Russia. And he called it all fake news, and that this was just some kind of an artificial creation that was made up by his political enemies, and he was attacked for that. We ended up finding out that he was right. There was an effort by the Democratic Party to create Twitter bots that looked like they were created by Russians to go support this guy on Twitter. But it was all a Democrat Party operation. That seems like something that could be used under Mayorkas's, anything that comes from a foreign entity could be used by the Disinformation Board as a way to target information and still say, no, this is international. See, yeah, these Americans are spreading it, but it originated with this foreign thing. And that's what we're targeting, the foreign thing, not these Americans over here, but because they're spreading the foreign disinformation, we're targeting them. But there is an actual case where the Democratic Party created Twitter bots that appeared to be Russian Twitter bots in order to support a Republican candidate, so the news media could attack the Republican candidate as being in the back pocket of Vladimir Putin. There's a real thing that happened. The guy's name has slipped my mind for just a second here, but somebody's probably already blown up my Discord server about who it is. The DHS spokesperson did not immediately respond to the Daily Caller's request for comments on whether or not Mayorkas would revise his public statements in light of the document released. This administration wanted you to be monitored. This disinformation board was set up to go after you. That's what the documents say, Josh Hawley said during a Wednesday appearance on Tucker Carlson. This idea that the government is going to stand up in an institution that's going to monitor American speech, that's going to treat Americans' political speech, Tucker, for political speech, as something that needs to be monitored, that needs to be countered. This was going to be a state propaganda machine. This board was supposed to push out counter-information to Americans according to the Senate. And that's all of the documents seem to say. That's, of course, what you already knew it was going to do anyway, with the exception of that one blithering idiot that you know. It's like, no, they're totally trustworthy. You know, that guy really like now. But this is who they are, folks. I've been talking about 1984 for a long time on this show, long before it became popular to do so. I know everybody talks about it now, but I was talking about it before then. They are literally playing out that playbook. The Ministry of Truth is real. Newspeak is real. Every day you wake up and look at social media, you run into Newspeak. Every single day. That's who they are. That's who they want to be. And then they're going to come after your guns too. Think about what this disinformation work can do to people like me who point out that, hey, like 400 people a year are killed with rifles. That's it. It's tragic, but it's only 400 and some odd people. Things were 17. That stuff all gets memory hold. You never get any accurate information about firearms. What do you think that does to the national debate? MSC News Times 331. Time to check out your first jewelry creations. Creating meaningful jewelry for the forms that last a lifetime.
This is Michiana.
black, say not back first
Alright,
time
time to
using this car,
concentrate.
this handle's so damn cool by Ran Nagasi. Full power turbo 8 black line shifting 7 full turbo 9 black and full power all the way.
Damn, 5-speed? Start listening. apex and then drop down and drop back up after the apex. Wow. 26-1. It feels soft in the front end, though. You know, I like this car. It's quick, it handles well. It just feels soft in the front end.
Studios, from the first step to the final phase. Industrial and
Almost like there's way too much aero on the back. I don't know.
Casey Hendrickson.
Yeah, former U.S. Representative.
Brake bias is at -5.
1980, after taking bribes in the app scam sting investigation, has pled guilty.
I could bump it up to try to see what the difference is anyway. But yeah, right now my brakes are at -5.
Boxes with fraudulent votes. He did it for years to get the party's candidates elected. Yeah, voter fraud's not real though.
I'm gonna bump that up a couple, see what we get.
Just convicted this week. Totally nothing to look at. Don't worry about it. Boy, I'll tell you what, man, this Brett Kavanaugh thing, it just continues to get worse and worse and worse and worse. Rubio and others are now really getting involved in all of this, and as they should, because they are, well, frankly, I mean, they're angry, and they should be. We played you numerous montages on this show. Played you the video montages of it as well, of prominent Democrats and members of the news media, CNN, MSNBC.
I don't know how fast I can take that turn.
Celebrating God. And I'm not exaggerating.
That's what I want to find out.
Literally excusing.
Oh, my tires are going away a little bit. Fuck, tires are going away a lot.
Protesting has to be peaceful.
Yeah, thanks.
So the costume was right there. In between you trying to diddle your staffers. This is who they are. This is who the left has always been. I know that there's people like Joe Rogan out there that never really saw it. They see it now.
This won't
But
be
they
the
think it's
last.
phenomenal. They don't understand. This is what they've always been. The radical elements of the left have always been this way. So you've got protesters now who went back to Kavanaugh's house today. They're still protesting outside of his house. Democrats today are still saying, no, we don't need security outside the Supreme Court Justice's homes. Folks, it is a federal crime for you to be doing this. It is against the law. We have given you the law. We've read you the law on air. It is a crime.
Second drop down.
All the times that you had administration officials, you had Chuck Schumer go, people protest my house all the time. They can protest up there. No, they can't. It's different. It's a crime. Jen Psaki and Joe Biden encouraging people to go out there and protest. Encouraging criminal activity. So the day after that Judge Kavanaugh's life was threatened, and a gunman showed up to his house, which, by the way, loved the news sanitizer. Lots of news sanitizing on this. Not only did the news really not cover it, it certainly wasn't front and center. Not only did the news not cover it, I saved the article when this was posted on my Truth Social. I saved it. Not only have they been sitting out here and talking about all of these acts of they identify the stupid things anyone think about their threat. Not only is the news media not covering it on page one, but they did cover it. What they would do is they would just say, hey, guy who had weapons was there. What would they do if this was a liberal justice and it was a conservative coup that was outside? How would they cover that? This would be the biggest story in the entire country. And everybody knows it would be the biggest story in the entire country. But they're choosing not to cover this thing. If it gets in the papers at all, it's way bigger. I will give some credit to some anchors on some networks who did press people about it a little bit today. But yesterday was widely no coverage for half the day today. Widely no coverage. And if they did acknowledge it at all, they didn't acknowledge the seriousness of the situation. But now you got protesters who showed back up at Kavanaugh's house. Extra security was requested yesterday. It was denied again. And they're still back there protesting. Now, Marco Rubio, Florida, given on Fox News, was speaking enemy. He said the rhetoric aimed at conservatives was playing with fire. The aftermath of the attempted assassination of Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh was encouraging violence. Quote, "We are playing with fire. I'm not saying this guy wouldn't have done this anyway. These
tires.
as deranged as he appears
It's
to
not
be.
the brakes, it's the tire.
My point is
Come
that
on now.
encouraging
Fuck.
this. When you call your political opponents people have blood on their hands,
Good grief.
people that are the same as the KKK, going to rip their rights from you, you're going to have some people take some violent, dramatic, and dangerous action. Exactly. That's the lowest common denominator. You have to assume there are blithering idiots and people with mental illness in your base. And when you go out there and you gin this stuff up, they're the ones that get activated. Yeah, you run into the Karens and things like that in the world too, but these are the folks that get kind of activated. Every single one of these people who's protesting outside of Justice Kavanaugh's house is committing a federal crime. Every single one of them. And if you and I ever went to a judge's house protesting outside, drinking that judge changed,
Stay in third.
we would be arrested.
And the sun's over behind clouds.
None of them are. The DOJ has actively said that they're not interested in pursuing it.
Well,
This has been excused and supported and promoted by the Biden administration and prominent Democrats in the Senate and the House. That's the sad truth. You got this dumb, blithering idiot lady here. What is her name? California Representative Jackie Spire. Sorry, I actually had lunch today, and when I have lunch before I do my show, it causes an issue with my throat. So Jackie Spire said Wednesday, here, look, if you're driving right now, remove me with 2 hands. Because what I'm about to tell you is going to blow your mind, okay? Democrat California Representative Jackie Spire said Wednesday that she believes that she is the only representative that is a victim of gun violence. What? You're the only representative in Congress who's the victim of gun violence, huh? Stephen Scalise was shot by a Bernie Sanders supporter in a baseball field. That Bernie Sanders supporter was shooting at many other Republican congresspeople. You idiot. But at least she wore a nice little pink top. Speaking before Congress in support of the Protect Our Kids Act, which doesn't actually protect the kids, Spire said that she is under the impression that she's the only member of Congress that has been a victim of gun violence. Quote, I believe I'm the only member of this House that is a victim of gun violence, she said. My body is riddled with bullets. You're an idiot. You're an absolute idiot. Mass assassination attempt just a few years ago. The fact that you're remembering that she probably was not going to life. Look, Fox, White's infidel, not great for your memory cells. Okay, it's just not. So I should probably cut her some slack. You consume enough Fox and White from China, your brain ain't gonna work very good. She's out there talking about how she's got bullets in her. Okay, that sucks. But somebody clearly went to a baseball field after tracking them down and tried to gun down every Republican on the field. And Scalise is the one that got hit multiple times. And it just happened not that long ago. So for you to stand up there, she was in Congress, for her to stand up there and make the case that she's the only victim of gun violence after the other side of the aisle was targeted for assassination just a few years back is inexcusable. Well, I guess with idiots, dumb people. Basic, you're being mean. You're not being very difficult. Why should I be diplomatic when people want to rape your children, stick naked photos in front of your kids, tell your kids that they're inferior or superior because of their race, isolate your kids from other races of kids, and take away all of your constitutional rights while censoring everything you have to say and making sure that your vote doesn't actually count in an election. Why the hell should I be nice to any of them? No more coming up 95.3 MNC.
Casey Everson, 95.
This is like the days of old in GT3. And you would take one of these monster F1 cars and just beat the snot out of the competition over and over and over to make money. It's called grinding. You guys took Tommy away from us. Shame on you.
AMNC fans, who doesn't love saving money? At Machine Saver magazine, we've been helping businesses grow and consumers save.
I like the negative decals.
Favorite way to save direct to your mailbox. Expect full savings like those hot summer days called Ultimate Heating and Air.
Rigsby Gaming has some videos on the negative decals. Wow, that was fucking stupid. He almost plowed into him. Rigsby Gaming. Rigsby Gaming. Can't trust you. You don't have any sponsors. How can you trust a race car with no sponsors, man? Ah, shit. Damn it.
You need to check out RelayIndiana.com and Captel, caption telephone. Captel allows
That's not for the kids.
using the telephone. It uses voice recognition technology so you can read on a bright screen what the other is saying. Go to RelayIndiana.com and have clarity back into your conversations with Captel, the caption telephone from Relay Indiana. Visit RelayIndiana.com.
There's some research that if you eat enough fruits and vegetables, you maintain your memory. Representative Spire really desperately needs balanceofnature.com. She doesn't remember recent history. All you gotta do is go to balanceofnature.com. They got a proprietary blend of 32 fruits and vegetables. This is real food, non-GMO, it's vegan friendly. This is stuff that is going to absolutely blow your mind. You don't have to meal prep anymore. You don't have to make sure that you're constantly getting enough fruits and vegetables with your meal planning. You can just pop 3 pills of each one and you got your fruits and veggies covered for the entire day. If you eat any more than that, it's just icing on the cake. Go to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code LAURA, LAURA, and you get 35% off. That is a better deal than you get elsewhere, by the way. Go to balanceofnature.com. Promo code LAURA and save 35%.
Michiana's News Channel, your breaking news and weather station.
All right, I'm going to play another racist blithering idiot for you. I know, that's like the theme of the show. I should have just called the live stream Blithering Idiots. New audio, please. I'm sorry to do this to you. If you're eating food, you may want to pause. You're probably throwing a little bit in your mouth, okay? Just want you to listen. This is Joy Behar saying another Joy Behar racist stupid thing.
Most AR-15 former military had 35 limits there. What's the mental upset? They're not offering money. There is something once black people get come to this country. What? Trust me.
Now,
Wow.
the woman she's arguing with is a black woman. So Joy Behar, pasty, white, crazy, liberal woman, remember, white liberal women believe they're more black than black women do. That's how they operate. So a black woman is pointing out, hey, most people who own AR-15s are veterans who are 35 years old. They're not crazy people. White woman Joy Behar's response to that is, when black people get guns, the gun laws will change. Okay, you idiot. Let's take a look at the numbers, shall we? Black people represent 13.4% of the population. 32% of black households have guns. That is an overrepresentation amongst black people. Contrast that, 76.3% of whites of this country are whites, and then 49% of white households own guns.
Oh shit, not him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
this
shatters your
fucking
narrative
Viper.
there, doesn't it, Joy? The number of black gun ownership has increased dramatically
Get out
since
here,
when
dude.
Black Lives Matter. Why? Because black
Damn it,
neighborhoods are
you
the ones that are getting
motherfucker.
ransacked.
Always.
Look at the
Always
crime rates
something
right
with
now.
this asshole.
They're happening in black neighborhoods. They're not happening in white
Always
neighborhoods.
something with this asshole.
So yeah, when police abandon an entire community,
Step
Joy,
off.
when police abandon an entire community and they won't come help you anymore, what is your choice? because
This-
the Sims
are the
layout.
ones who always
This won't be my
support gun rights
fastest lap.
for black people. It was
Got
the
one
Second
more.
Amendment, and in fact, the National Rifle Association that secured firearms for freed slaves, so that way they weren't recaptured, abused, or what have you.
Ah, shit.
The Condoleezza
Ah,
Rice
shit.
on this issue.
Ah,
She's
shit.
got some amazing stories, horrible stories, but amazing stories about what her family had to go through and how the gun was the only thing that kept her family safe. If you don't know who Condoleezza Rice is, look her up. I know some of you are younger in the audience probably don't know who she is. This is an horrendously racist thing for a pasty white liberal woman to say. Black woman made a very good point. Most AR-15s are owned by veterans over the age of 35, and they're not crazy people. Now, this is a question that I have asked you many times before, and other veterans have asked in other platforms. Why is it that the most trained people in our society on firearms, which would be military personnel,
Motherfucker,
much
damn
more
it.
so than most law enforcement or any other entity, the most trained people in our society
I don't know if it was him or me, or he helped
Why is
me.
that? If it's not necessary for home defense, if it's not practical for home defense, why is it that veterans pick it for home defense? What's the reason behind that? That's not the only thing that they're trained on, folks. So why do you think the most trained people in our society choose the AR-15 to protect their families and their homes? Probably because it's the best darn thing to protect your family and your home. It's the most versatile. It's lightweight. It's accurate. It's not going to punch through walls and hurt an innocent person. It is a perfect tool for home defense. Perfect might be a couple of bulbs out there. But there's a reason that you have to take a step back and ask yourself, why is it
brakes
that
are
special forces
issue.
operators and infantrymen and the like, why is it that they choose ARs to protect their family? Why don't they choose shotguns? Why do they have that too?
Why are you
Why
going
don't
so
they just
slow?
choose pistols? Why don't they just choose revolvers? Why don't they just choose, black powder muskets? Why? Why do they choose an AR-15?
Oh, shit.
Because it's an amazing platform, that's why. Imagine being so racist and so dense. You should see the look of this. I don't know who this other woman is. I apologize for I don't know her name. You should see the look of this black woman gave racist, white supremacist Joy Behar. Holy smokes. Gave her a look like,
Oh, boy.
if I say what I'm going to say
Fun.
right now.
That's fun. I can get used to this.
She looks like she wants to
This
grab
is like the
hair
good old
from Joy
days.
Behar's, and that's the way that she.
Thanks, Scotty. Good job,
Joy
man.
Behar would have
Good
deserved
job.
every single minute of it. Every one of those harpies out there in the audience. Such a good point, Joy Behar. Such a good point. No, it wasn't. It was incredibly racist. It was historically inaccurate, and it was factually inaccurate with current day statistics. More coming up. 95.3 MNC.
WTRC FM and
A police officer charged with...
All right, I'll be back, folks.
News, the charging decision just announced in Michigan.
From 1991 to 2008, Biden was an adjunct professor at Widener University School of Law in Wilmington, Delaware, where he supposedly co-taught a seminar on constitutional law. A thing Biden does not understand.
From the very beginning, you couldn't own any weapon you wanted to own.
Loving this car, LOL.
No, it doesn't. Here's a graphic of entry.
Yeah, I like this car a lot.
Types of ammunition.
I really do.
The 22
I need to get used to it.
the same mark as the 223 or 5.56, which is the ammo most AR-15s use. And here is the 9mm, which is the most common handgun ammo. Compare these two to the 357 or the 45.
Wow.
And you'll see which
136-1.
damage.
So the idea is
Good.
high caliber.
It's really good.
There's simply no rational basis for it in terms of about self-protection, autonomy.
And of course, if you know anything about guns, a 9mm weapon is not remotely considered to be high caliber. Again, he's just making up.
Buy a cannon when the Second Amendment was passed.
Yeah, you could.
Why is he comparing owning a 22 or a 9mm to owning a cannon? Oh, I know. It's because he's stupid. I mean, this is a man who can't even pronounce the word exponentially.
Increases the prospects of success for those young people exponentially. And the county police grew exponentially. Increasing exponentially the prospects of their success. All studies show that will increase exponentially. Increase exponentially. Exponentially. Their profits are coming up exponentially. They have an exponentially greater chance of going all the way through 12 years of school. It increases exponentially their prospect of graduating. It also increases exponentially. Increasing exponentially. We increase exponentially. We're changing exponentially. They increase exponentially, which is increased exponentially. Prices went up exponentially. It's increasing exponentially. Increasing exponentially. Prospect.
Anyway, it's impossible to take seriously a president who not only lies about the United States Constitution, but also says that the Declaration of Independence sounds corny. Watch this infamous clip from March 2020.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. Sounds corny. Not a joke. Think about it. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by God. You know the thing.
And since then, Biden has repeated this stupid line again and again and again.
We, the people, we hold these truths.
To the final phase, industrial and commercial electrical done right.
Let my wheel cool off a little bit too.
Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning in. Newstalk 95.3.
Seriously?
Channel. I am your host, Casey Hendrickson. We're going to dive into some real.
Don't be frozen.
Here in just a second.
Come on, man. This is single fucking player.
Our military as well.
Seriously?
But first, I've got to tell you.
This is single player.
CBD.org. If you have minor aches, pains, you got post-workout, muscle soreness, that sort of stuff, go to allnaturalcbd.org.
Come on,
some
man.
of their amazing CBD products. Again, this is full spectrum CBD. The lotion's an amazing one. You just rub it right on where it hurts. If you get some pain somewhere, just rub the lotion on. And starts working within minutes. Usually about 3 minutes for me.
Nothing.
It's generally about how long it takes for it to kick in. But if you get the gummies, you can chew gummies, and that's, again, good for anxiety.
So I guess that'll be it.
For pain. They also have
Because I got to reboot the game.
And then, of course, Delta
and
gummies if you have some friends over Friday night. You want to have a good time. They've got back patches as well as dog treats.
It's only 1:45.
Sore joints and things like that.
I'll start streaming again.
CBD.org, promo code,
and we'll grill with this car.
You'll save 10%.
See you back in a second.
So problems are popping up with Ukraine, and I hate to be the guy that's saying I told you so, but it's